I must say this is a very big privilege for me to really have an engagement with you this morning. I think that the process has started. This is an internal election. This is a house matter. I can assure you that looking at the orderly nature of the place, it tells you that at the end of the day, everybody is going to smile, because what we need is peace. That's all about this internal affair. And I can assure you that from the look of things, the Vice President is very much on top here. I would not be surprised if he's able to garner 100% vote, because I've had the opportunity to interact with a lot of the delegates across, just meeting them and asking what is happening or not. And they said, even those who are contesting with him know that this is just an acclamation. So if delegates are saying this, who are you, a non-delegate, to also say that it's not going to happen? So for me, I'm very positive that it's going to end very well. And what is important is that at the end of the day, unity will prevail. Because the other candidates, what they are looking for is free and fair elections. And I want to call on every Tom, Dick and Harry to try and ensure that this process is free and fair everywhere in the country. Because by 4 p.m., the MPP would have spoken. And there's going to be a victory rally for any of the 4. Elections there is full of surprises. But where we stand, to be honest with you, I will be very surprised if Bawumia doesn't garner about 85 to 90%. And if he doesn't win this election, you may have to change my name from Solomon Boar to Mary. My relationship with the Vice President, I think that we are all old boys of Tamale Secondary School. First and foremost, we are all old boys over there. And, but we got very close. We got very closer and closer and closer from 2008 when we started working together. And to be honest with you, one of the things that I would never regret for getting closer to the Vice President is his consistency and humility. I used to think that I was a very humble person, but I've come to realize that I really need to learn a lot from such a gem. If it's about discipline, if it's about consistency, if it's about humility, if it's about the issue of trying to ensure that he crosses the T's and dots the I's, anytime at all you are doing something with him, then you can be sure that it is the Vice President of the Republic. One of the things that the Ghanaians must also understand is that there's a special reason why the Vice President keeps talking about data. Even at our household level, data is important in everything. And that is the more reason why, before you see the Vice President coming out to speak to the nation, coming out to speak to an issue, after everything, nobody is able to protest. It doesn't matter what will happen after some months or years back, but he has been very consistent. And he keeps telling us that if you want to really be relevant in society, the fact that you are called a politician doesn't necessarily mean that you should continue to lie to the people. As for what you hear in the public domain, it's part of politics. People will say a lot of things about him. People will talk ill about him. But the fact that he keeps ignoring all of them and being consistent, that tells everybody that history has started today. The history is in 3 or 4 folds. The first historic moment is that the Vice President is going to be one of the vice presidential candidates in this country who is going to garner a very huge percentage at the primaries, going into election for the first time. Number two, this is the first time that the Vice President coming from the north is going to be on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. I'm sure there's nobody who is a young person in our country's politics today. There's no way by which you are going to get somebody from the north to lead the MPP. That has been broken. So that is also historic. And one of the things I foresee in our strongholds, bringing the Vice President, looking at the euphoria, looking at what is happening all over the country, especially in the Akan communities. First time in the history of this country, the vice president, who is going to be the presidential, our presidential candidate from 4 p.m. going today, is going to garner almost 80% of the popular votes in 2024. That is my prediction. And you know very well that anybody that garners 75% or even 70% in Ashanti region wins the general election. So if the vice president is going to garner at least, in fact, that is my projection. Anybody at all can go ahead, can go out to say anything at all. But that is what is coming from Solomon Boar. They feel I've had the privilege of going everywhere in this country, especially the account-dominated pick-to-pick information, data, and honors for the office to work with. And I can tell you that what I am telling you is not just on top. I'm not just saying it out of context. I know what I'm talking about. And once he makes it, it's not something that will worry. And added to the answer of this, I'm sure that this is a baby that everybody is looking up to, that they should give birth to him. And once they will give birth to him, he's not just going to benefit them, he's going to benefit every sector of the economy. He's really going to transform this economy with technology. That is what is critical. The vice president is going to transform the economy with technology, and that is something that some of us cannot get with. Yes.